legendary Oscar-winning actor has died. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Gene Hackman found dead at his home in Santa Fe, New Mexico yesterday, along with his wife, Betsy Arakawa, who was also dead, and so was their dog. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Office says they're investigating the cause of death, but foul play not considered a factor. Hackman was 95 and long retired as an actor.
That's kryptonite, Superman. A little souvenir from the old hometown. I've spared no expense to make you feel right at home.
He was in 3 Superman movies and dozens of other films.
He was admired by his peers and beloved by moviegoers. Eugene Alden Hackman was born January 30th, 1930 in San Bernardino, California. His first major film role in Lilith.
All right, Popeye's here.
Hackman's breakout role in 1971's The French Connection earned him his first Academy Award.
As Fox's Brian Yennes, Gene Hackman won another Oscar for his role in Unforgiven. Hamas has handed over the bodies of the last 4 hostages to be released in phase 1 of the ceasefire in Gaza in exchange for more than 600 Palestinian prisoners. The swap hours after the funeral in Israel for Sherry Bibas and her 2 young children killed in Hamas captivity after the 2023 terror attack. Their remains released last week.
The burial was private but moving. Sherry and her sons buried in the same coffin because it was said she always protected them. Husband and father Yarden Bibas, who survived captivity, saying to his deceased family, "This is the closest I've been to you since October 7. I can't kiss or hug you. It's breaking me."
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. President Trump will host Britain's leader at the White House today for talks on ending the war in Ukraine.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer has arrived in Washington. Last week, he said he was willing to deploy peacekeepers to Ukraine and boost defense spending. Now he wants a U.S. security guarantee to deter Russia.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Tomorrow, President Trump will host Ukraine's leader at the White House for talks. America's listening to Fox News.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
to Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
to your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
It's been more than 3 years since U.S. troops left Afghanistan in a hurried withdrawal under President Biden that included a terror attack killing 13 American service members as the Taliban retook control of that country. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, sitting next to President Trump at the first cabinet meeting yesterday, vowed,
"We're doing a complete review of every single aspect of what happened with the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan and plan to have full accountability."
Now, at the same time, there was a House hearing into the military.
The hearing chairman, Republican Congressman Mike Rogers of Alabama, says we need a strong defense industrial base, but that it needs to be rebuilt because
over the last 30 years, we have watched the industrial base atrophy.
Washington Democrat Adam Smith says we also have to approach the subject with a more realistic viewpoint.
How do we manage the challenges that we face instead of imagining that we're somehow going to be dominant in the world and be able to deter everybody?
However, former Deputy Defense Secretary David Norquist testified there is good news.
Our nation has a defense sector that is innovative and dynamic.
He says the system needs to be set to allow for maximum performance. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
An immigrant in the U.S. illegally busted, accused of being an ISIS supporter.
The New York Post reports his downfall was his ex-wife who ratted him out for what she said was his sham green card marriage to a stripper. Manuri Manachikiri, who is from Tajikistan, is charged with funneling $70,000 to ISIS-affiliated people. Federal prosecutors say they nabbed him in Brooklyn where he'd been living illegally. They say the wife snitched him out after he reneged on a $200 a month payment he promised her to marry him. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after the Dow dropped nearly 200 points, but the Nasdaq gained 48, snapping a 4-day losing streak. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. An Auburntown man escaped injury Tuesday after a plane he was piloting crashed in Center Hill Lake near Holmes Creek. According to the DeKalb County Fire Department, emergency crews responded to the crash just before 4 p.m. Chief Donnie Green said no fire or spills occurred as a result of that crash. A state legislature committee moved forward a bill this week that seeks to impose a 10% tax on vaping products. The Tennessean reports that an estimated 400,000 people in the state regularly use vaping devices. Tennessee, one of 20 states that do not currently levy a tax on vape products. A fire destroyed what used to be the Timberloft restaurant in Gordonsville Tuesday night, according to WKRN Nashville. The restaurant on Gordonsville Highway recently sold and reopened as the Loft Texas Smokehouse. No injuries occurred during the blaze. A cause remains unknown at this time. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
From the WHUB Willow Window Studios, your trusted window, garage door, and custom window treatment experts. Willow Window. Stop by their new showroom at 310 Newman Drive, Cookeville.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is radio station WHUB, the voice of the Upper Cumberland in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila on 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here in the Willow Window Studio. If you're watching on Hub Plus this morning, it's a great view of the Willow Window showroom we got up there for you. We're Jason and Sheila. It's 6:06 now.
Little rainy and cloudy this morning. It's 49. We're working our way up to a high of 60 for the afternoon.
A few things you need to know. Tennessee state parks, huge asset to the state. In fact, a independent research firm came in, and the economic impact on state parks, these are just the state parks, okay? These aren't federal parks, national parks. That's what I'm trying to say. These are just state parks. $1.9 billion. That's what they bring into the state.
1.9 billion. You said
$1.9 billion.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
I mean, I thought they probably brought in millions, but I didn't know it got up into the billions.
Me neither. So
that's cool.
Way to go, Tennessee State Parks.
You know what? I was scrolling through Facebook like I do, entertaining myself, trying to keep up with my friends.
Looking at the memes,
laughing. And then I saw somebody, one of my good friends, she takes a lot of beautiful pictures of nature.
Yeah.
There's a white squirrel somewhere in Cookeville.
Really?
Look at that picture.
Oh, wow.
I mean, solid white, like a little albino squirrel.
Man, and, that's cool.
I thought that's one of the things you need to know. And I mean, it's rare that they last in nature too, because they're so easily spotted by prey and things like that.
Right.
But he's a beautiful little thing.
Maybe he got enough food during the snow when he could be hidden.
Right. Well, y'all don't try to get that little feller because he's real rare and cute.
Or maybe that's what happens when they make it across the road.
Yeah, we can see him better. And he's white.
No, that's what happens. You either die.
Or you turn white.
Or you turn white.
Oh, he's surpassed. I mean, squirrels may have 9 lives too.
Yeah. Or maybe he's a squirrel wizard.
Yeah.
Like Gandalf or something.
Yeah.
We don't know the story behind that.
I mean, he is snow white. It's not like little flecks of salt and pepper. It's like solid white.
Maybe he's just a real old squirrel.
No.
Okay.
He's getting around pretty good. She took a little video. He's hopping around.
Now, this isn't a big. This is a big job, but it's really, really part time.
Okay.
It's only 2 hours a day.
About like this show.
But it's Monday through Friday. About like this show.
Is it as fun?
I think it could be.
Okay.
Cookeville Police Department's looking for like crossing guards and stuff like that.
Oh, there's a lot of folks that love doing that.
The elementary school. Well, I guess in all the schools, but I'd want to do it for, be more fun out of elementary school.
Yeah, little kids helping them cross.
I'm not sure I can put up with high school kids.
They might say things, throw things at you.
Yeah. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find that on the Cookeville Police Department's website. Captain Brent Anderson is who's in charge of that.
Well, speaking of Cookeville Police Department, they've received an award of appreciation from the TBI.
Well,
yeah, their department made 116 notifications ensuring that children impacted by traumatic events received the care and support they needed in schools, and that's why they got the award. What are you laughing at?
I played the little...
oh, I didn't even hear. I didn't know. I didn't know you were doing something.
I didn't know either. It just struck me. They deserved it for some reason.
All right, so Cookeville Police Department won an award from TBI. All right, thanks, Jason.
The Monterey, this is really neat. They've been waiting for this. The Monterey High School boys soccer team played their first game on the new Black Bottom multi-use field.
Yay!
Past Tuesday. There was a great crowd for it too. And they've been working real hard to get that ready. It's still not 100%, but it was good to play the first game on. I think they're still building the concession stands.
Yeah.
So they don't have it fully furnished yet, but they will here soon.
Also, there's something new that's in Cookeville. It said Club 1270 Cigar Lounge is now open.
That.
It looks classy. It's at 1270 West Broad Street. Their hours will be 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. every day for the public. They said there's a guest lounge and patio. And here's what I looked up their Facebook page too. It said, our lounge crafts an elite atmosphere beyond the mundane, where our members are free to forge their own unique boldness, in addition to meaningful friendships and camaraderie over the finest tobaccos in the world.
Here's what I'd like to know about that place.
Yeah.
And if to cigar aficionados and people who smoke cigars, if this is appropriate. I don't like smoking cigars, but I like being in a room where cigars are being smoked.
Now, this might be very rare. I don't know. But pipe, tobacco, and cigars smell so sweet and good to me. It's so different than a cigarette. I know you like the cigarette, but I've never been a smoker or anything like that. But cigars smell so good to me.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And they seem a little classier. Why is that?
I don't know. But I'm with you too on the pipe smoke.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, just.
But the smell of tobacco is just
You like it all.
I love it all.
Yeah.
I do. I haven't smoked a cigarette in approximately 10 years.
See, he's a recovering smokeaholic.
And this past weekend, somebody was smoking in the parking lot of the where the home show was, the Putnam County Home Show.
Yes.
Convention Center.
Mm-hmm.
They were out there smoking in the parking lot on our way in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh.
Still does that to you.
Did you smell that? And that smells so great.
And I bet Donna goes, I don't like it.
And I thought about that person smoking a cigarette, I bet 5 more times inside the home.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That nicotine is strong.
Well, yeah, it's not just
It's a
the
strong
nicotine,
drug.
It's just that the whole doing it. I don't know. I've already decided when I get old, like real old,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to start back.
All right, then. So you're a good example to the youngins.
Well, when you get to a point, where you're living on borrowed time anyway, you might as well go all out.
Do the stuff you've always loved.
That's
huh?
right. That's what
Okay.
why try to prolong it then, You get to an age
Go out in style.
Yeah, if you get to an age where you're happy about, I'm ready to go.
You know what? I'm ready to have one of them smokes.
Let's line it up.
Wow. All right, then.
Or maybe not. Who knows?
So that's all the things you need to know that I've got.
That's all I got.
It's time for our question.
Yes, get to your 2 cents. It's brought to you by Freedom Pond on Mayberry Street in Sparta. And starting, is it this coming Monday,
This
Sheila?
coming Monday, they're going to be open Mondays now. So it's Monday through Saturday
All right.
that they'll be open. So I wanted to let you know that. So they're not usually open on Mondays, but they will be coming this Monday. Here's the question. What's the best movie chase scene you've ever seen?
Well, Smokey and the Bandit.
That's what my husband said. He goes, I know it's an old movie, but I said, well, I think a lot of people will say that.
But almost the whole movie is the chase. I don't know how you can pick. I mean, the Fast and Furious stuff is cool to watch if you're into
it. It is, yeah.
I
know this movie wasn't like the most popular, but that Baby Driver, have you seen that movie?
No.
It had some good chase scenes in it too. It's not like one of my favorite movies of all time. I like Smokey and the Bandit better.
So Baby Driver, that's like a real movie, not an animated movie?
No, it's not an animated movie.
Oh, I thought it was like a sequel to that Boss Baby.
Oh, no, but that would be funny. Boss Baby got a little older, and now he's Baby Driver.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
No, that's pretty funny. But we'll answer that next, what the best movie chase scene is and what everybody else is saying.
All right, head over to News Talk 1077 and 1400 The Hub on Facebook to get in on that. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here live in the Willow Window Studio. Hang out. We'll be right back.
When it comes to home services,
The Pioneer Man can.
when folks ask me, Pioneer Man, are you as good at electric as you are HVAC? I say, good. Boy, I'm the reason this song is called The Night the Lights Went Out in Tennessee.
Pioneer has licensed electricians standing by to light up your life and plug into the latest energy-saving technologies. When it comes to electric, trust your frontier to Pioneer. Visit pioneercomfort.com for details.
The Pioneer Man can.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-340-5510. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-340-5510. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-340-5510.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
Now through March 23rd, Cumberland County Playhouse presents The Wizard of Oz. Join Dorothy and Toto as they are swept over the rainbow to the magical land of Oz. They meet the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Cowardly Lion, and they journey together to find the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Don't miss The Wizard of Oz, rated G, and co-sponsored by Plateau Pediatrics, First Bank, Comfort Suites Quality Inn, and the family of Owen Golden. The Playhouse education sponsor is Swallows Insurance. Call 931-484-5000 or visit ccplayhouse.com.
Look, this country was founded on freedom. Freedom from a country that forced us to buy overpriced tea and then trying to blockade us when we dumped their tea into the ocean. How'd that work out? Well, it's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard as well. Pure Talk, a veteran-owned company, my cell phone company, says no to inflated prices. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. And yes, this is for premium service on America's most dependable 5G network. Get your iPhone 14, Samsung Galaxy, $0 qualifying plan by dialing pound 250. Say the keyword save now, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest to goodness wireless price right. Pound 250, keyword save now, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
1077 and 1400, The Hub. Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila, and we're here in the Willow Window studio. Willow Window getting ready to start offering their summer spaces, and they're adding stuff left and right to their website. They've about got that part done. Can't wait for you to see it. And go ahead and call them and get on their books for a estimate to come out and show them where you want your summer space. Make your outdoor beautiful again.
Yeah.
With Willow Window.
Oh, making your home beautiful and your outdoor beautiful.
And your outdoor. Just everything around you.
Beautiful with Willow Window.
They'll make everything beautiful but you.
I don't know. They made me look better in this studio.
It's 6:20 now here on Good Morning Cookeville.
Freedom Pond brings you your 2 cents, and they are now open on Mondays, so Monday through Saturday.
Monday.
Freedom Pond at 49 Mayberry Street in Sparta.
Mayberry Street.
Listen to this. I went there the
Freedom
other day.
Pond.
They've got over 4,000 DVDs. They've got scooters, motorbikes. They've got kayaks. They've got guns and ammo, Bartlett bows and arrows, cameras, tools, jewelry. There's other things too. I just can't even mention everything on that list, but you need to check out the cleanest, friendliest, and best pond store, Freedom Pond.
All right.
What's the best movie chase scene that you've ever watched?
Well, I went Smokey and the Bandit because, well, it's the best. I'm trying to think of a good number 2 here, and I don't know. I'm having a hard time recollecting chase scenes.
I know it's hard to think. Well, what is that? Smokey and the Bandit stands out, I think, in
Right.
a lot of people's minds. This is funny though. Archie Winningham
Yeah.
wasn't a movie, but it should have been. That time I was around 18 when I left Livingston, thinking it was one of my buddies behind me wanting to race. So I hit the open road, heading toward Monterey. My buddy's headlights were almost on my back bumper, so I stomped it to the floor, thinking I'm leaving that sucker in the dust. And it was working out just fine till the blue lights came on behind me.
Man.
I bet your heart just went to your stomach and like, oh, that was not my buddy. That was an officer.
Ooh, not good.
Said it was Trooper Smith. That was a great story, Archie.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Michael said The French Connection. I mean, I've heard of the movie, but
Yeah.
Johnny Ferguson said Outlaw Josie Wells. He was chased the entire movie.
Yeah, that's right.
That is a good movie.
That is a good one.
Russell said Terminator 2. There's pretty good scenes in that.
Yeah, there's some pretty good chase scenes in that.
Oh, Pam said Gone in 60 Seconds.
I didn't even think about Gone in 60
That's
Seconds.
a good one, too.
That's another one's nothing but chase scenes.
John said a childhood favorite was when Bo and Luke Duke ran into the pond and Roscoe had to tell Uncle Jesse they didn't come up. Broke my kid heart. But I know it's not a movie, but there may have been a TV movie of Dukes of Hazzard.
I don't remember
Was
them
there?
making a TV movie.
Anyway, Dukes of Hazzard always had good chase scenes.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a lot of Smokey and the Bandits on here. Angie said Thelma and Louise. They've had some chase scenes on there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was even a movie.
We had another Gone in 60 Seconds from Robin with Nicolas Cage. Smokey and the Bandit. Another Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, Sarah said any Smokey and the Bandit
Yeah.
scenes.
I'm glad we're all in unison on that Smoking the Bandit thing.
Oh, here's a good one too. Susan said Beverly Hills Cop when he's in the back of the truck. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah. So
I'm having a block here. The racing movie that Tom Cruise was in,
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, when they're racing. Those two are racing each other.
Oh, that is a great
I know
scene.
it's not a chase scene, but it's a great.
It's a driving fast scene.
Yeah.
And they're trying to catch each other and outdo one another.
I thought that was
that
was
Days
good.
of Thunder, I would love to watch that again. It's been a while since I've seen that. That's a great movie.
It's been a second.
Yeah. When you're talking, we're thinking about on the road chase scenes and race scenes, but even Tom Cruise's Top Gun and Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
is good plane like the keeping up with one another.
I mean,
and that scenes were like edge of my seat kind of thing.
If you start thinking about that and all like the sci-fi space stuff where
Yeah.
they're in the,
There's some really good ones.
there is some good ones. And
something about being in the air makes it even worse for
I
me.
like the ones when they're racing through the asteroids.
Yeah.
That those are always cool.
And it makes it look so
Yeah,
real.
you
I don't
think
know how
about
they
it.
do that. I guess
Open
now with computer animated, but
Open it up
generated.
to the space stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be, we'd have a long list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is our your 2 cents this morning, brought to you by Freedom Pond, who is now open on Mondays.
All right.
What's the best movie chase scene?
Today is International Polar Bear Day.
Ah, the polar bear.
It's also National Chili Day. And then anytime this gets brought up, chili you put beans in
Yes,
your chili
all the time.
I think so.
But not on a hot dog.
No. Hot dog chili is a complete different chili.
But I mean, if it has beans in it, I'm not going to complain,
Right.
even on the hot dog.
It's also National Kahlua Day.
Mm-hmm.
I never was a big drinker of Kahlua.
I'm not a big drinker, period, but Kahlua is good.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, I'd rather just have regular old coffee.
It's also National Pokemon Day.
There's a lot of Pokemon lovers.
I wonder if my grandson knows. I never played that Pokemon Go before.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wanted to play it on Papa's phone. So I got it on my phone, and when I was down visiting, we'd go out for little walks, and we
Downloaded it for the
And I
grandbaby
tell you, I spent so much time making fun of Pokemon Go.
until
And
Matthias wanted
then
it.
it was fun.
Well, didn't your son like Pokemon?
Yeah,
too?
but we didn't have Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
He liked the cards.
That came later on, yeah.
Yeah. And I never understood the game. So he would ask me to play, and I would play, and he would kind of just tell me how to do. I never won at Pokemon. I was a terrible Pokemon master.
I thought you were going to say I was a terrible Pokemon parent, but you're like making it up on the grandparent.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
trying. Well, the app's a whole lot easier. You just catch them.
I understand why that Pokemon Go is so addictive, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been into it, but I've seen people showed me, and I was like, well, I see why that's kind of fun.
Well, I'd see people walking around before this, and you see they're playing, and I'd be like, psh, playing Pokemon Go. I'd roll my Pokemon Go, whatever.
And now here you are playing it with Matthias.
Only with Matthias, though.
And you know what? That's a good bonding thing with y'all.
I'm not out doing all the stuff. There's meetups.
There's Pokemon Go meetup.
Yeah. Everybody goes to a place, and they have little Pokemon Go parties.
There's somebody for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see how that could be fun.
I mean, then you're into the same thing.
I mean, I don't know.
Might meet your significant other at a Pokemon Go.
I mean, you don't want to
Pokemon Go party.
You don't want to tell that to your grandbabies, though. How'd you and me, Mom, meet?
We was at a meetup at that Pokemon Go.
Right. I mean, that's not romantic.
And I just knew it was love at first sight when he caught the one I wanted. And then I caught him.
when he captured that Pikachu, I knew
Pikachu.
he was mine.
It is so fun to say Pikachu, isn't it? Bless you. Pikachu.
It's also National Strawberry Day.
Now, why would it be now? Because strawberry, this is not their season.
No, but they are delicious.
They're very delicious.
If you were lucky enough to have frozen some or made something with some, then you could get that out today. And pound cake.
Oh, yeah, with
And
strawberries.
and
yeah.
that juice just soaks it all up.
So good. Yeah.
And it's also No Brainer Day.
Well.
And here's something I've noticed. There's a lot of times I think that's a no brainer. Why wouldn't anybody do that? That just makes sense.
But
you'd
your
say.
brain works a little differently than everybody else.
And then you realize that, it's not a no brainer.
Mm-hmm. But Sheila gets confused about things. It's mainly me when you discover, oh, I thought it was a no-brainer.
No, I was talking about I was talking about more about like ideas and stuff like
Right.
that.
And there's some that are better problem solvers out there. You're definitely a good problem solver. And others, maybe they don't think as quickly on stuff like that. And you're like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Just do this. And I'm like, oh, man, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Wow. It's like I was watching about how the guy came up with Reese's peanut butter cups.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your chocolate got into my peanut butter. Your peanut butter's in my chocolate.
that's not how it happened at all.
It was a good commercial, though.
Peanut butter wasn't even like a thing. Like people, it wasn't.
It wasn't when it was first invented, like the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Right. It wasn't even like a thing, really. You know, they just started making it. And he was looking for something that he could chocolate cover.
Something different.
And so he tried to make it like the traditional stuff, you know, but he had to make a special chocolate. That's why they ended up in the cups. And I thought, man, this.
Yeah, because that chocolate that is with that is a little softer.
Yeah. And then the peanut butter, he started roasting his own peanuts and all that stuff. And
he was serious about
you know how Reese's peanut butter tastes a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's by accident. They roasted them too long, and there's a little bit of a smoky, burnt taste to it.
It's so good with that chocolate.
Right. So it was everything was by accident. But you would think, you know, peanut butter, chocolate, no brainer. It was actually a brainer.
See? You thought no brainer.
And
but
then,
he thought long and hard about it. It was
Right.
a long, hard road until he got to the perfection that
had
is
to
the
invent
Reese's
it.
peanut butter cup. And that's one of the best,
Right.
by the way.
Foods that built America.
Yeah.
Heck of a show. If you want to go, and I think I told that whole Reese's peanut butter cup story right. It's 6:31, and coming up, we've got spoiler alert, things going on in the world of entertainment, music. That's on the way. A celebrity death that I wasn't ready for.
Me either. I know who you're talking about.
So we'll tell you about that here in just a little bit here on Good Morning Cookeville, live from the Willow Window Studio. We'll be right back.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. A state legislature committee moved forward a bill this week that seeks to impose a 10% tax on vaping products. The Tennessean reports that an estimated 400,000 people in the state regularly use vaping devices. Tennessee, one of about 20 states that do not currently levy a tax on vape products. The proposed tax expected to generate nearly $16.5 million in new revenue for the volunteer state. A fire destroyed what used to be the Timberloft restaurant in Gordonsville Tuesday night, according to WKRN Nashville. The restaurant on Gordonsville Highway recently sold and reopened as the Loft Texas Smokehouse. No injuries occurred during the blaze. A cause remains unknown at this time. Congressman John Rose among the deciding yes votes this week on a resolution to establish framework for adopting a federal budget. Rose reports that the final budget will require another vote of the full House of Representatives as well as the Senate. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
Good morning, Cookeville. I'm Jacob Vinson with the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. The NFL says they are considering changing their overtime rules. Last season, the overtime rules in the postseason were different from the regular season, as in the postseason, both teams got a chance with the ball, even if a touchdown was scored on the first drive. The league says they are also considering implementing a virtual measuring system to determine first downs, which they used in the background this past season. Vanderbilt upset number 12 Texas A&M in college basketball last night, 86-84. Both teams scored 52 points in the second half. Auburn beat Ole Miss 106-76. Michigan State beat Maryland 58-55 on a last-second heave from half court by Trey Holloman of the Spartans. The Detroit Pistons beat the Boston Celtics 117-97 last night for their 8th win in a row. It's the best win streak for Detroit since they won 10 in a row in 2008. The Pistons are now 33-26 and 6th in the Eastern Conference after going 14-68 last season. Tonight, Tennessee Tech will welcome in Western Illinois to the Hoop for a couple of big OVC games. The Tech women are looking to clinch a share of the OVC title with a win, while the men stay in the hunt for a first-round bye in the OVC Conference Tournament with a win. I'm Jacob Vinson. That was the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
The UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub, brought to you by One Bank. The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Paul Winkler Incorporated, now with an office in Cookeville, creating confident investors. PaulWinkler.com.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Asian markets closed mixed, while European markets are broadly lower after President Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on imports from the European Union. Key earnings movers overnight: Salesforce, Snowflake, and eBay, which fell after the company gave weak revenue guidance for the first quarter of fiscal 2025. eBay did, however, report better than expected earnings for the fourth quarter of fiscal 2024. Moderna shares are under pressure in the pre-market after a report that the Health and Human Services Department was reevaluating its $590 million contract to develop a bird flu vaccine. The contract was awarded to Moderna in the final days of the Biden administration to accelerate the development of potential messenger RNA-based vaccines. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free
Upper Cumberland weather.
Brought to you by the Habitat for Humanity's Habitat Restore, located at 560 South Jefferson in Cookeville.
This is your latest forecast from News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Many of our U.S. veterans and service members face challenges: mental health struggles, housing obstacles, food insecurity, and social isolation, to name just a few. I'm Bob Woodruff. My family and I started the Bob Woodruff Foundation in 2006 after I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq. Our service members had my back that day, and we need to have theirs now more than ever. At our foundation, we invest in solutions, so learn more about our work at bobwoodrufffoundation.org/success.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila.
On 107.7 and
Good morning,
1400
Cookeville.
The
Jason and Sheila here. We're in the Willow Window Studio. It's 6:37 now.
We have some great guests coming in. Casey McCarty, she is the Director of Development for Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity, and also Jeremy Bird. He's the Executive Director for Upper Cumberland Habitat. They'll be in to talk about some things coming up this year with Habitat. And then Ken Hall, who is with Disaster Relief for the Upper Cumberland. We'll talk to him about some of the things that he does in the Upper Cumberland.
Quick reminder before we get into spoiler alert. Tonight at the Hoop.
Yes.
Big game for men and women. And then Saturday. And the Titans are going to be at the Saturday game.
I know,
well, not the whole,
cheerleaders and
one of the players, T-Rack, is going to be there. You can win some cool Titans prizes. They're going to be throwing out free T-shirts and things like that. Of course, Tech will be too. And showing up and being rowdy could be the big difference for the team and where they, you can make a difference if they win or lose. Crowds have
and we
that
need
effect.
to do that.
And we need to help them win tonight and Saturday. And girls are playing for a number 1 seed regular season championship. And the boys team, the men's team, women's and men's team is playing for a higher seed in the OVC tournament. And a bye even. So they're still well in the hunt.
Yeah.
On this thing. So and it's $10 if you're a student. It's free to go to the game. So let's get out there and support Tennessee Tech. They're doing great. Let's go let them know we appreciate it. Wings up, check yeah,
And be rowdy.
and all that stuff. All right, spoiler alert, Mark Ruffalo is on Jimmy Fallon tonight, and comedian Gabriel Iglesias, who's pretty funny.
He's hilarious.
Jimmy Kimmel's got Lionel Richie, Kelly Ripa, and Mark Consuelos.
They're such a cute couple.
I just like saying his last name.
Consuelos.
On regular TV tonight, you got Matlock on CBS, Law and Order SVU NBC, regular Law and Order, that's on NBC as well. And on History Channel, Swamp Mysteries with Troy Landry.
Whoa.
I don't even know what that is.
It sounds like it might be interesting.
On streaming, House of David, that's on Amazon, a series premiere of that. On Netflix, season 1, Dala. I hope that's Dalah.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Death and the Flowers. Graveyards on Netflix. Running Point, that's season 1 on Netflix. Toxic Town, that's a limited series on Netflix. And Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frank on Hulu.
Who's Ruby Frank?
I don't know. It's the series premiere, Sheila. You're going to have to watch.
Oh, well, excuse me, Jason.
It's one of those death shows that I think you'll probably like.
One of the death shows. What are you trying to start about me?
I'm not trying to start anything. It's just a thing that everybody knows now that you like the death show.
I must not be the only one because I saw a meme the other day and said, oh, it's time for me to relax after work and watch all the serial killer shows. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't watch them to relax. It does make me tense. But.
Right. Except for the old, the kind of old school ones with the good calm narrators.
Oh, like Keith Morrison.
Yeah.
Not the all good Keith Morrison, but the NBC Keith Morrison.
Now that guy can put you to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, like such a calm voice, and he's got such a good voice too.
I wish there was a channel where he just told stories.
He could read the phone book, and I would love it.
Queen Latifah will perform a Quincy Jones tribute at the 97th Academy Awards show coming up on Sunday.
That'd be good.
Elon Musk may appear on The Daily Show after Jon Stewart criticized his Department of Government Efficiency, responding to a fan request. Musk agreed to appear on the show. The show airs unedited. The official Daily Show account welcomed the idea, saying, "We'd be delighted." I'd watch that.
Oh, I think that would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think any conversation with Elon Musk is interesting.
And then there's no telling what John is going to throw at him. But
I'd be interested in hearing that too.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I'll watch that.
Some really sad news in the entertainment world, and Gene Hackman passed away. He was 95. Police in Santa Fe, New Mexico, found the bodies of him, his wife, and their dog. The cause of death has not been determined. Foul play is not suspected. How can it not be suspected when his wife and dog were also dead?
Well, I think they must know pretty much what happened. They're just not releasing everything probably until all the family is notified and told. I don't know, but it seems strange, doesn't it? And now I was wondering, is it carbon monoxide poisoning?
Oh yeah.
Is it something
think about that.
like that? Or I don't know, but it's just sad. He's an Oscar winner, by the way. He's a really good actor.
Two-time Oscar winner.
Two-time.
Yeah. Some of his, he's been in over 80 movies. He played Lex Luthor in Superman, Norman Dale in Hoosiers, and Popeye Doyle in The French Connection.
Such a great actor.
And a whole bunch of other stuff too. Nominated for 5 Oscars. He won 2, 9 Golden Globes, and he won 4 of them. He does have 3 kids from his first wife.
I just hate for it to end that way,
Yeah.
And his wife was, I think, in her 64,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in his 70s, and then it was so shocking. Woke up and read that,
Yeah, I wasn't ready for Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's not like we were, like I was best friends with Gene Hackman.
But I know, but I mean, he's been such a big part of our lives on some of the movies we love.
So many of them.
When he's in it, it's going to be a good role.
Yeah.
Because he adds his Gene Hackmanness to it.
Right. But anyway, I just thought that was just really, really sad news there in the entertainment world for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, we've got The Real Good. It's a couple of stories that are positive and uplifting. And Ask Jason this week.
I'm telling you, you're doing really good on that. You're making me look very stupid on it.
I think I've just got lucky so far. That's all.
See, it's a no-brainer when it's Jason. He knows the answers.
I don't know.
But I'm saying you figure it out.
I think you're giving me too much credit. I mean, we're just now on Thursday.
I think he doesn't give me enough when I get them right.
So all that's coming up. So stick around with us. It's Good Morning Cookeville. We're here in the Willow Window Studio. We'll be right back.
Way to keep us on track, Jason.
Elevate your space with high-quality window treatments from Willow Window. Our dedicated team crafts custom solutions featuring sleek blinds, elegant shades, custom interior and exterior shutters, and luxury drapery tailored to your style. Transform your windows into stunning focal points that enhance your home's charm. Reach out to us today for your complimentary estimate. 931-WINDOW-1.
Throughout the country, buried pipelines are indicated by a pipeline right-of-way. A long, wide stretch of grass cleared of trees and marked with signs. If you have a right-of-way near your home, do not plant anything in it or dig in it. Do not install a fence or build your kids a super cool fort without first getting the pipeline operator's approval. For more on pipeline safety, visit pipesafety.org. A message from the Tennessee Gas Association, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Discover the savings at Freedom Pawn, located at 49 Mayberry Street in Sparta. We're not your typical pawn shop. Explore our extensive selection of jewelry, tools, gaming systems, knives, and guitars, perfect for any enthusiast. For the archery lover, we offer Barnett crossbows and other top brands. And don't forget, we're your trusted guns and ammo store with the best selection around. Visit us today. Just look for the Bigfoot in front of the store and see why Freedom Pawn in Sparta is your ultimate destination for great deals.
They say time is money. Well, I'm about to save you a lot of both. Hey guys, this is Jeff Root, General Manager at Ford of Cookeville. Right now, Ford of Cookeville is offering an oil change and tire rotation for just $29.95. We'll do it right in your own driveway with our Ford Mobile Service team. Our factory-trained technicians perform expert service right where you are with our state-of-the-art mobile service Ford Transit vans. Schedule your Ford mobile service now at FordLincolnCookeville.com or 931-526-3325. Terms and conditions apply. See deal for details. Price 20.
This week's half-price Upper Cumberland deal is Royal House of Cheese. They create the most delicious charcuterie boxes. They're round wooden boxes reminiscent of old European cheese boxes. The boxes come with a variety of cheese, fresh fruit, cured meats, and more. If you have events coming up like birthdays, weddings, or festive occasions, Royal House of Cheese will create the most elaborate grazing tables for your event and get it half price. This week's half-price Upper Cumberland deal of the week.
Over 50 years and still going strong and growing. With American Way, you'll gain the knowledge and skills necessary to thrive in today's market. We provide realtors the tools they need to succeed, so this essentially adds up to success for the agents. If you are willing to work, we can make it happen for you. We also have a very family-oriented culture with a focus on productivity. Give me a call. I'm William Baugh, 931-310-6291.
American Way Real Estate, 710 South Jefferson Avenue in Cookeville.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville. 1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here in the Willow Window Studio. It's 6:49 now.
We'll have some folks in from the Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity just after 7. And also at 7:30, Ken Hall is going to talk about disaster relief, some of the efforts that he does in the Upper Cumberland.
Every single day, me and Sheila, we go through a bunch of news stories, try to find some that are positive and uplifting, and we call it The Real Good. There's a 12-year-old named Sydney Eberly. I'm going to go Eberly.
Sounds good.
From Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. Good old Moose Jaw.
Good old Moose Jaw.
Where are you from, Moose Jaw?
Moose Jaw.
Making a big impact with her small business called Simply Scrubs. With the help of her grandma, Sydney has been creating and selling body scrubs and then donating the proceeds to local charities there in Moose Jaw. Recently, she made her second donation of $200 to the Dr. F.H. Wigmore Regional Hospital Pediatrics Unit. Sydney's mom, Catherine, says Sydney chose to donate to the children's ward because she heard they needed new specialized beds for their patients and wanted to make sure patients get the help that they need. And the donations to the hospital fit with the motto of Disney's company, which is making a difference one scrub at a time.
One scrub at a time. I love it.
That's pretty cool. All right, one more real good story here, Sheila. Clancy Lester is passionate about nature and has a specific interest in the native bee species in Australia.
The bee species.
Down there, Clancy is known as the Bee Man because he's dedicated his life to bee hotels, which are structures that provide a safe haven for solitary bees which don't live in colonies or make honey.
You know what? I actually thought all bees lived in a colony.
Me too, and then died.
The bumblebee, they even live in a colony down underground, don't they?
With over 800 bee hotels so far, the Bee Man continues to travel from town to town, educating communities about the importance of bees and the importance of these bee hotel structures. He says it's one of the simplest ways of simulating, as best we can, the natural environment where native bees and other insects will nest in. Maybe the Australian bee is more of a loner.
A solitary Australian bee.
I bet it could kill you with one sting. You know how the Australian.
I wonder if it dies after it stings you like some of the others.
I have no idea.
Or if it just keeps going.
But to Clancy Lester, the Bee Man, and to 12-year-old Sydney Eberly from Moose Jaw, Canada, y'all are real good.
Now, ask Jason. It's time for that. Now, you're doing really good. You've got 4 in a row. And also, I did 2 on Monday, so 6
We've got
total.
6, and we're at Thursday.
Yeah, we're at Thursday, so you can do even better today.
All right, I'll do my best, Sheila.
This theme that we've got today is kind of like an online theme.
Okay.
Okay. This new mental diagnosis was introduced by psychologists in 2008. What is it, Jason?
2008.
Mm-hmm. A new mental diagnosis.
2008.
What were you doing in 2008?
So fairly like something new that was introduced to us.
Yeah. He's reasoning through it.
2008. Well, the internet was out way before 2008. So if it was an internet issue, it would come out before then.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone came out, 2001? 2002? When did iPhones come out?
I'm not sure. Probably before 2008. He's stumped on this one. It's hard.
What about I want to narrow it down. You tell me if I'm close. How about that?
All right.
Online games or like Facebook?
That one was very close, that last answer.
The Facebook one was? Then I'll say social media. A phobia.
No, but you were close. You were tap dancing all around it like I do.
What was it?
Psychologists introduced in 2008 Facebook addiction disorder.
Oh.
You were close, but you said phobia.
Wait.
That's not a phobia. That's loving it too much.
If we are playing Family Feud rules, then I think that
I know,
counts.
but I'm judging by Family Feud rules and how Jason has not given it to me when I've been that close
I think
before.
if you went back and looked, there's been times that you weren't even that close, and I gave it to you. I at least said Facebook within the conversation.
All right. Well, that's got an asterisk by it, but we'll give it to him.
Steve Harvey would give that to me.
I don't think Steve would.
I know he would.
No. Let's go on to the next one. Asterisk, you got it.
I'm claiming that one.
Just like I claim stuff and
Right.
you say I wasn't even close, and I have actually said stuff in the conversation too.
I did just then. So if it counts for you, it counts for me.
It didn't count for
It
me.
did.
You never gave it to
Here
me.
recently it has because we changed the Family Feud rules.
No.
It's a ding, ding, ding. I got
Time
it.
for the next one. Let's keep
Move-
moving on.
move along.
Trying to get us off
Yeah.
topic, Jason. This is the percentage of items listed on eBay that receive no bids. What is it? This
that
is the
again.
percentage of items listed on eBay that receive no bids.
So I need a percentage of
Yeah.
things that are on eBay.
When they said, what is it? I actually think they're trying to trick, not me.
That's on eBay, but that didn't get any bids at all.
Yes.
So
What percentage?
I'm guessing a percentage.
That is correct.
Well, I'm going to do what I always do when I guess percentages and just say 50%.
What?
Yeah, if you don't know, just say 50.
It says over 50%, but I'll give that to you. 50% is the percentage of items listed on eBay that receive no bids. That's a lot, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
No bids.
I just think that it's
It's probably crappy items.
normally if people ask you what percentage, it's
Just
50.
say 50.
Yeah,
Midway.
right. It's like who sings that song? Bruno Mars.
You're wrong 50% of the time, but the other 50%,
You could be right.
You could be right.
Bruno Mars.
He's had several hits.
Yeah, and with other people too.
I'm surprised you didn't say the percentage of items on eBay not so Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
All right. He's gotten 2. Can he get 3 right?
I don't know, Sheila.
All right. Here's your last question with Ask Jason. You got me
Okay.
all tore up.
I'm ready.
This is the word people most often misspell in their search engine. What is that word?
Oh Lord, I misspell everything.
He does. He'll go, Sheila, is this right?
Uh,
No.
I have no idea. So
Bruno Mars?
yeah, I probably don't spell Bruno Mars right. I'm gonna go with
That was hard. So many words out there.
I mean, I don't even know where to
Okay.
start.
We do this several times a week.
Broadcast.
That was good. It's a restaurant. We eat at a
Oh,
restaurant.
I never would have got
And that's where they misspell on their search engine. Restaurant.
I always have to say
That A and U gets
I always
switched
have
up.
to say rest AU right.
Yeah.
Whenever I
Yes. That's, I mean,
rest AU right.
uh-huh. And, you know, that's how, Cologne with cologne. That's how I always had to say it because I knew it.
You know, restaurant's actually one of the few words I don't misspell.
Yeah.
Everything else is up for grabs.
When you do make a little game in your head with it, people used to make fun
Yeah.
of me in school. I go, hey, look, I make a little game out of it, and I remember it. I made 100 on the spelling test.
I never made 100 on a spelling test.
Oh, you probably didn't.
Never did good in spelling bees.
Were you good at any subject in school?
PE, I was pretty good at PE. Social studies,
Well, you're not stupid.
lunch,
Obviously, with all these great answers.
real
Now,
good at
8
lunch.
in a row that he's
Adult
gotten right.
adult living, I was good at that one. Whatever that class. Hang out with us. We'll be right back. Some great guests on the way on Good Morning Cookeville.
This is News Talk 107.7 and 1400, The Hub. Good morning, Cookeville. W299BY, 107.7 FM, and AM 1400, WHUB, Cookeville.
What happened? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the big question in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where actor Gene Hackman was found dead at his home. His wife and dog were dead, too.
Found with the body of his wife, Betsy Arakawa. She was a classical pianist, and the dog was unclear at this point is whether officers went to the home yesterday afternoon to respond to a welfare check or if somebody had called in a report of finding them. We just don't know any of those details yet.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. Hackman was retired after a long acting career.
All right, gentlemen. He's got one barrel left. When he fires that, take out your pistols and shoot him down like the mangy scoundrel he is.
Hackman won an Oscar for his role in Unforgiven. He also got an Academy Award for The French Connection. Hackman was 95. His wife was 63. The Supreme Court has blocked a judge's order hours before a deadline for the Trump administration to release billions of dollars in American foreign aid as the president makes deep cuts to the U.S. Agency for International Development. Democratic Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury asked at a House hearing into DOJ.
Why the hell are they so hell-bent on dismantling an organization that has been so vital to American interests and Western democracy for so long?
Elon Musk, who's spearheading DOJ, looking to slash the federal workforce and spending, said at the first Trump cabinet meeting.
They're getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I mean, I'd like to stack them up, But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt.
Today, President Trump will meet with Britain's prime minister, ending Russia's war in Ukraine, a big topic. Tomorrow, Ukraine's leader will go to the White House. Hamas says it's ready to negotiate phase 2 of the ceasefire in Gaza.
The offer comes after Hamas handed over the remains of 4 hostages in exchange for the release of more than 600 prisoners held by Israel, marking the final exchange agreed to in the first part of a truce that is scheduled to end this weekend.
That's Fox's Gary Baumgarten. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Back to Elon Musk. He mentioned in the cut we played a few minutes ago that he's been getting death threats. A Tennessee man has been arrested.
Ethan Early of Ashland City outside of Nashville is charged with an act of terrorism. Prosecutors say Early threatened to burn down X's data center in Memphis, known as XAI, because he was upset at Musk's work with the Department of Government Efficiency, as well as President Trump. Police say they were tipped off by an acquaintance of Early who had said he was going to buy material to burn down the facility. An officer says when he showed up at Early's home, Early said his friends had talked him out of it and he had discarded the material. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
2 of President Trump's cabinet members hit the road after the group's first meeting with the president. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Small Business Administration Leader Kelly Loeffler went to Kentucky, responding to the recent deadly flooding disaster. And Noem says it's
a locally led disaster response that's supported by the state. And FEMA comes in and then builds more resources behind that and fills in the gaps that's necessary. And that's what exactly happened here.
A controversy simmers in New York City over a first-in-the-nation program President Trump's trying to end. It charges drivers $9 to get into Lower Manhattan.
The U.S. Department of Transportation insists that New York City's congestion pricing tolls end, saying in a letter to the Metropolitan Transportation Authority it has until March 21st to terminate those tolls. The MTA responded saying the federal order isn't lawful and a judge will settle it. New York Governor Kathy Hochul spoke Wednesday to the MTA board, referring to President Trump's cessation order.
I know there's a lot of power in that Oval Office,
But I will put that power up against the power of 6 million pissed off commuters in New York City.
Governor Hochul said she's confident the state will win in court. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising ahead of today's trading, up more than 100 points each for the Dow and the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. An Auburntown man escaped injury Tuesday after a plane he was piloting crashed in Center Hill Lake near Holmes Creek. According to the DeKalb County Fire Department, emergency crews responded to the crash just before 4 p.m. Chief Donnie Green said no fire or spills occurred as a result of that crash. A state legislature committee moved forward a bill this week that seeks to impose a 10% tax on vaping products. The Tennessean reports that an estimated 400,000 people in the state regularly use vaping devices. Tennessee, one of 20 states that do not currently levy a tax on vape products. A fire destroyed what used to be the Timberloft restaurant in Gordonsville Tuesday night, according to WKRN Nashville. The restaurant on Gordonsville Highway recently sold and reopened as the Loft Texas Smokehouse. No injuries occurred during the blaze. The cause remains unknown at this time. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
From the WHUB Willow Window Studios, your trusted window, garage door, and custom window treatment experts. Willow Window. Stop by their new showroom at 310 Newman Drive, Cookeville.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is radio station WHUB, the voice of the Upper Cumberland in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cookeville, with Jason and Sheila on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here in the Willow Window Studio. It's 7:06 now.
From Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity, we've got Casey McCarty and also Dr. Jeremy Bird, Executive Director, and then Casey is Director of Development with Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity. Thanks for joining us this morning, you two.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yes, we're excited to be here.
Well, what's going on? Anything fun? Anything cool?
Oh, my goodness. We are busy, aren't we?
It's a full year ahead for you guys. I know you've already done some planning with the Dream Builders luncheon and things like that. So what's the first thing that we've got?
Right now, we have our race that's coming up, which is on March 29th. Early registration will end on March the 5th. So it's in Overton County. So we're really hoping that people are getting excited. They're registering. So we're really looking forward to our race that's coming up on March 29th.
And, so Overton County is not necessarily a new space for you all, but it is a new space for you, correct?
Yeah, we merged with the Habitat affiliate in Overton County back in 2015. We've built a couple of houses there. We have a new house that'll be breaking ground hopefully in the next couple of months there in Livingston. And so it's a cute little family that is in our program right now with some of the cutest kids. They're adorable. And so we're so excited to be able to put them in their forever home.
Does the race in Overton County, does that money then stay in Overton County, or do all the fundraisers that you do spread across all the area that you serve? With
the way we have to build nowadays, just because of the cost and everything.
Yeah.
We like to say it this way, that every dollar helps us build.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're committed to building in all of our counties as frequently as possible. So we'll build in Overton County this year. We'll build in Putnam County. We've got a house that's finishing up, which is our 92nd house, I think, in Putnam County. We're about to break ground on 3 more houses in Putnam County. And then we also have initial meetings set up for White County. We'll be building there hopefully in the next year or two as we're getting that process going. We just expanded into White County. And we're still in the process of merging with DeKalb, but as soon as that merger is approved by the state and everything is above board, we'll be able to break ground on a couple of houses there.
Oh, that's really growing then. I know that it's good that you guys are merging because they did need some help in the other counties with it. But with that, are you going to hire more folks with Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity, or how is that working?
So we've already kind of strategically hired to be able to serve all 4 counties. So that's why we're excited to have Casey on now. She helps help us make payroll and make the money that we need to buy land, develop land, build houses.
All the behind the scenes stuff that is hard.
I want to kind of branch off of that is we have some great volunteers. So in our Overton County, we had an advisory committee. We're developing the same thing in White County. And then in DeKalb, they have a wonderful volunteer-based team. So just that partnership with our volunteers and the continuation of working with our volunteers and just everything that they bring to the table, the insight, the knowledge, and then also just the boots on the ground. So if it's something internally that we can't fully execute, the volunteers can help us do that as well.
Does it make it easier fundraising? I mean, I know obviously covering that much territory is probably harder with maybe logistics, but as far as fundraising, you get the word out and being able to do fundraising in different areas of the Upper Cumberland. Has that made it easier, or has that made it, I mean, obviously got to raise more money, so that makes it more difficult, but the actual fundraising part, you think that makes it easier to do?
I mean, if I could just be transparent, we're still developing a lot of those strategies and a lot of those relationships that are necessary for that. But we've got some incredible partners that are already kind of rising to the top in White County that want to support the work that we're doing because they value how we can address affordable housing and that need in the Upper Cumberland. So I don't know that I would say that it makes it easier. I would say that it just expands the possibilities for those strategic partnerships in each of those communities.
And that really explains, too, the name change. It's not just Putnam County Habitat for Humanity anymore. It's Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity because we're moving into Overton County, DeKalb County, and White County. So that encompasses all. I know that there's also Cumberland County who has their own habitat as well. Is that going to be part of yours eventually, or they're separate?
No, I don't believe so. Vanessa Petty's the executive director up there.
She's been there for a while.
Oh,
does a good job too.
She has helped me tread water so many times, and that's one of the things that I really do appreciate about Habitat for Humanity. There are 32, I think, affiliates across the state of Tennessee, and it really is kind of like an extended family. We call each other, we talk to each other. Casey, as she's come on board to do development with us, she's been working very hard to build a network of information and support and resource. From
Casey
affiliates.
just jumped right in and started just talking to folks and educating everybody about who all is with you guys now, and just done a wonderful job.
She very much has a contagious personality.
I mean, it's true. It takes somebody that's a kind of a go-getter, and both of you are doing an excellent job. I know it's big shoes to fill, especially with the expansion.
Yeah, well, and then you go back through and you see, Pam's vision.
Yeah, Pam Ely.
Yeah, Pam Ely, the previous executive director, and she was there for many, many years also, was the heartbeat of around here for a long time. And she's like, okay, by this year we want to have 18 counties. And it's like, okay, Pam, we're going to slow down just a little bit here. But she was just a phenomenal visionary. She had all kinds of passion for the work of Habitat. And she really laid some tremendous groundwork. You start looking at Cooking on the Square and the support for that wonderful event and its growth over the last several years.
Oh yes,
with Casey Overstreet, who was chairing that for us, and Amanda Selby, and now they're bringing on some new people to that committee, and so the support in this area, I'm just always humbled by how this community supports our work. Yeah.
And like you said, all those volunteers that help in the community too with the event like Cooking on the Square. I mean, it takes so many volunteers to even put that on.
Oh yeah. Well, and then you just look at the totality of our work, like Casey was saying, our volunteer base. We have volunteers that are even now, right? It's February. Even now, they're coming into the Becky Burnett studio and working on bowls for Cooking on the Square.
That's just awesome.
Kevin's team with construction.
Absolutely.
And then just the planning stage with events. So it's just a lot of the behind the scenes, but then also think of our sponsorships. So in all the surrounding counties, it's just it's a team effort, and we're so thankful because back to the original question, it's can be challenging. So without the sponsorships, without the volunteers, without everyone just working as a team, it can be challenging, but we're thankful for everyone coming together to support the overall mission.
With Casey, you've been there a short time. I remember you coming in here just probably the week or maybe the next week after you got the job, So you've been there a fairly short amount of time, jumped in feet first, killing it. You're doing great. What's been one of the biggest surprises for you, or what's something that you've learned that you didn't know about Habitat?
So I love hearing the quote, it's not a hand out, it's a hand up. So in regards to the sweat equity and also the work that the home buyers have to put in for the mortgages. So the process of what it really takes in order to qualify for a home.
Right.
So there's a lot of behind the scenes that the home buyers are.
There are, and there's
there's probably people who think here's a free house, like you're on Oprah or something, and you get a house and you get a house, but
or I've heard even
not that way at all.
We've been involved with fundraisers before, and they're like, "Well, I'd like a free house," and I'm like, "Well, they still make payments on those homes, and they put in
exactly
work."
How that works.
Yeah. So still, after all these years, you still have to educate because there's always new people that's hearing about it, or they have maybe the wrong misconceptions.
Yes. A lot of education behind it. And then the cost in regards to the building of the homes as well. So it's like, how can we strategize and then work with our community to create more events that are exciting, but then come together to align those goals to where we can provide affordable homes.
We'll talk more with Casey and Jeremy with Habitat for Humanity coming up in just a little bit here on Good Morning Cookeville. It's 7:16. And we're Jason and Sheila here in the Willow Window Studio.
Your home, your sanctuary. This includes your outdoor haven as well as the interior of your home. Willow Window can elevate your outdoors today with elegant and innovative products from SummerSpace. From awnings and outdoor shades to porch enclosure systems, transform your porch to your favorite part of your home. SummerSpace has the perfect solution specific to your needs. Call Willow Window today for your free estimate, 931-WINDOW-1.
Hey Golden Eagle fans, it's your head women's basketball coach, Kim Roseman. Join us for an action-packed night at the Hooper Ebelin Center Thursday, February 27th versus Western Illinois at 5:30 p.m. with Coach Pelfrey and our men's team to follow. Come watch us battle it out on the court and help us secure another home win. Don't miss a moment of the action this season. Get your tickets today at ttusports.com or call the ticket office at 931-372-3940. Let's pack the hoop and make this season unforgettable. Wings up.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the Big Wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Let the bidding begin. It's time for the show, and you know it's gonna go high. There's a buzz in the air, and people come from everywhere to hear the auctioneer cry. The sound of the gavel never gets old when you hear an EJ say so. Live or online, we handle auctions of any kind.
Call Amanette's Eagle Auction at 526-5335, where we soar higher.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
1077 and 1400, The Hub. Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila. We're here in the Willow Window Studio. It's 7:19 now.
From Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity, we've been talking to Casey McCarty. She is the Director of Development for Upper Cumberland Habitat, and Dr. Jeremy Bird. Dr. Jeremy Bird. He is the Executive Director for Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity. Now, we've been talking about the expansion into Overton County, White County, and DeKalb County for Upper Cumberland Habitat. Are you thinking about expanding, maybe cooking on the square to the other areas? I know that would be another. People probably wondering because it's such a huge event.
Cooking on the squares.
Yeah.
So DeKalb County already has a wonderful event. It's called the DeKalb County Chili Cook-Off.
Yes.
Actually, that's going to be the Friday before Cooking on the Square.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Cooking on the Square this year is going to be on Halloween.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I love
if
it.
people know that.
I did not know that.
It's always the last Friday of the month, so it's falling on Halloween this year, huh?
It is.
Well, that's pretty cool. We could dress up this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so my philosophy on it is I really like simple systems. And so for me it's like, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's use what's already working and just kind of customize it to the communities, but at the same time, each of the communities that we serve kind of have their own kind of pep, their own kind of spirit to them.
Sure,
yeah.
We want to try to find ways to integrate. So kind of piggybacking on what Casey said a minute ago, that's why those advisory committees that we put together in each of the communities that we serve are so important because they help us kind of figure out how does Habitat become part of a community and not just try to come in and overwhelm or
Right.
be above the community. It's important if we're going to do the work there that people see us as being a long time community partner, which is why I'm kind of passionate about this Overton County build that we've got coming up because I grew up in Livingston, and so I want to serve Livingston because those are my people.
Yeah. You take
Cookeville,
pride in being from there, and you want to create communities.
Fun, but Hog-Eye, right?
absolutely. Yeah. And so Cookeville's wonderful, with the history of Habitat here. Just the support here is phenomenal. The excitement in White County for that expansion that's down there. And we get all kinds of phone calls from surrounding communities. And I wish, going back to what you said, I wish it was like Oprah and we just had a catalog of houses and I can be like, yeah, here you go, here's your house.
And pick you one out, yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, from identifying land that could potentially be not only we could develop it for houses, but we could afford to develop it for houses. That's I found a statistic the other day that just kind of floored me. So year over year, from December of 2023 to December of 2024, let me give you the Overton County statistic. The average home sale price increased 29.5%.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
1 year.
I bet if you went 2020 to now, I bet it's ridiculous.
It would be insane. Across the board, they've all gone up. Putnam County, I want to say it went up. Maybe 8%.
I don't doubt that either.
So if anyone has land and they would like to, donate it to Habitat, feel free to contact me.
Well,
most definitely.
I've wondered this, and I don't know if they're, and I think during the break you were explaining a little bit of the things that Habitat has to go above and beyond in their build. So that may answer this question, but you see all these shows where people are flipping houses, and so, but it's all new builds with Habitat. Why is it? Because of some of those things you can't take an existing home and
so there are
flip it, so to speak.
Yeah, as an affiliate, we could absolutely purchase a home, and what Habitat's terminology would be rehab it. We would rehab it and put a Habitat family in there. However, Habitat is very, very focused on making sure that it's a decent, affordable place to live. And so as part of that, there are energy standards that we have to follow. There are construction standards that we have to follow. And so without going, I mean, you have to start thinking. Some of these places you'd have to go in demoed way down,
Right, yeah.
on the studs.
You might as well build it new.
Yeah.
Right.
And so in situations like that, it just doesn't make financial sense.
Right,
And we
right.
always try to be very, very good stewards of the donations that people give us.
Mhm.
And so we have to think, what's the best use of this dollar construction wise? And sometimes the best use of that dollar is to purchase land. If we could find good land to purchase, we'll purchase that, or develop more land like we're trying to do in our West End place right now. We're kind of in a holding pattern waiting to get final approvals to get another 10 lots developed there. But when you start doing the math of trying to rehab existing homes at the current cost of the houses in the area, a lot of times that math just doesn't add
Yeah.
up.
Well, that's what, when you were telling me that all the standards that you have to meet based on habitat, not necessarily local or anything like that, but just based on habitat. That's what I thought. I bet there's no way they could, I mean, it'd be way expensive to redo a home, but easier just to build a new one.
Yeah, that would
for
be
sure.
more money into that redo than actually building and using some of the methods that y'all are used to using that you have to do.
Even for-profit contractors right now in our area have a hard time finding houses that it makes financial sense to flip.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And so if you're a not-for-profit trying to do it, it makes it even more difficult.
Sure. Yeah. I imagine so.
And it seems like it's probably getting harder to find land available.
Yes.
So that's why, like, definitely
Especially
call
affordable land.
Yeah, Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity if you find any places, because you guys really build communities too. There's so many
they're
communities.
nice homes.
That are great, and these are hardworking folks. That's why you have to put in an application, and as rigorous people that go through the applications and make sure you can put in that sweat equity, that you can pay your monthly bill, and that you are going to be a good steward of that home.
Yeah, absolutely. There are 3 basic requirements. One is you have to have a demonstrable need for better housing, and that could be something from you're in a rental that it's leaking and the landlord's just not taking care of it, to you live on a street and it's just not safe for your kids to go outside. So there's a lot of different ways people can qualify based on needing a better home. The second one is you have to be willing to partner with us, because we tell people about an 18-month process. You'll be in the program. You're going to be going through classes. You're going to be doing sweat equity, like Casey said. You're going to be working with Habitat as we work with you. And then the last one is you have to be financially set up to pay for that mortgage, because while I wish we could just give people houses, the reality is that this is going to be a mortgage that you're going to pay, and it's going to be your house. You're the homeowner. You're going to have maintenance, and you're going to have all of these different things. But we're able to do it thanks to our partnerships, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to the people who work with us. We're able to do it in a way that keeps those costs down for the home buyers. And what ends up happening is a lot of people think Habitat that all we do is we put people in houses and then we're done. Well, actually, putting a person in the house is just the beginning, because what our goal is to transform that family.
And you do, I mean, they even have financial classes, and and you guys teach them really how to live and be an efficient manager of your life, basically.
Yeah.
And that helps that family tremendously. You teach them how to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them already come in with basic knowledge on this, that, and the other. But then some of them have never been homeowners. Maybe they come from a family where no one has ever owned a home. And so Marion Bader, our director of home buyer services, she works with organizations like Highlands here in town. And so she'll send the home buyers over to listen to classes on your insurance. What does it look like to have insurance on your home, and how do you navigate that? So there are some great partners that we work with.
And I want to have a chance to talk about our Dream Builders Luncheon in Overton County. That's on April 29th. The theme is stories, so it's going to talk about the testimonies of just our home buyers, but not just our home buyers, also our volunteers and our donors, from being a monthly donor or a sponsorship within the community, and just hearing the impact of the personal testimonies of the home buyer or the volunteers, and how it's all intertwined, and how everything's impacted from, the time spent volunteering and the impact the home buyers has had with Habitat. And if you have the chance to purchase a ticket and come to that luncheon, it's on April 29th, and the event information is on our website.
Give out your website if you don't mind.
It's uchabitat.org.
I think I knew that. uchabitat.org. And you can purchase tickets straight from the website.
You can.
Okay. All right. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Casey McCarty, also Dr. Jeremy Bird here in the studio with us from Habitat for Humanity. All the other events are on your website, too.
Yes,
I imagine, of course, on Facebook and all the socials as well. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
It's Good Morning Cookeville. We're live here in the Willow Window Studio. Hang out with us. We'll be right back.
Local news. News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub.
News is brought to you by One Bank of Tennessee, where service is second to none.
From the WHUB News Center, I'm Rafferty Cleary. A state legislature committee moved forward a bill this week that seeks to impose a 10% tax on vaping products. The Tennessean reports that an estimated 400,000 people in the state regularly use vaping devices. Tennessee, one of about 20 states that do not currently levy a tax on vape products. The proposed tax expected to generate nearly $16.5 million in new revenue for the volunteer state. A fire destroyed what used to be the Timberloft restaurant in Gordonsville Tuesday night, according to WKRN Nashville. The restaurant on Gordonsville Highway recently sold and reopened as the Loft Texas Smokehouse. No injuries occurred during the blaze. A cause remains unknown at this time. Congressman John Rose among the deciding yes votes this week on a resolution to establish framework for adopting a federal budget. Rose reports that the final budget will require another vote of the full House of Representatives as well as the Senate. That's the news from WHUB. I'm Rafferty Cleary.
Good morning, Cookeville. I'm Jacob Vinson with the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. The NFL says they are considering changing their overtime rules. Last season, the overtime rules in the postseason were different from the regular season, as in the postseason, both teams got a chance with the ball, even if a touchdown was scored on the first drive. The league says they are also considering implementing a virtual measuring system to determine first downs, which they used in the background this past season. Vanderbilt upset number 12 Texas A&M in college basketball last night, 86-84. Both teams scored 52 points in the second half. Auburn beat Ole Miss 106-76. Michigan State beat Maryland 58-55 on a last-second heave from half court by Trey Holloman of the Spartans. The Detroit Pistons beat the Boston Celtics 117-97 last night for their 8th win in a row. It's the best win streak for Detroit since they won 10 in a row in 2008. The Pistons are now 33-26 and 6th in the Eastern Conference after going 14-68 last season. Tonight, Tennessee Tech will welcome in Western Illinois to the Hoop for a couple of big OVC games. The Tech women are looking to clinch a share of the OVC title with a win, while the men stay in the hunt for a first-round bye in the OVC Conference Tournament with a win. I'm Jacob Vinson. That was the UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
The UCR Sports Report on 107.7 and 1400 The Hub, brought to you by One Bank.
TRN News.
The man left seriously injured in a Nashville hit-and-run pedestrian crash this past weekend is a Middle Tennessee trauma surgeon. Loved ones saying Dr. Josh Taylor with TriStar Stonecrest Medical Center in Smyrna remains hospitalized in critical condition. He was hit by a red Jeep with a black driver's door while crossing 8th Avenue South shortly before 6:30 Saturday evening. MMPD still looking for a driver in connection with the case. Interim Memphis Shelby County School Superintendent Dr. Roderick Richmond gaining support in the district. Several principals and administrators wore Rolling with Rod t-shirts at the board meeting Tuesday. This was the first regularly scheduled meeting since Dr. Marie Fagan's termination. Those in support expressed belief in Dr. Richmond's experience, leadership, and plans for the school system. I'm Lee Mowen.
Number 1 for news from across the state. This is the Tennessee Radio Network.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. It has no cure. Parkinson's is not limited to how a person moves. It can also cause symptoms like depression, fatigue, and impaired speech. Today, there is a new diagnosis every 9 minutes, though Parkinson's can be present for years before being diagnosed. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure. For more than 50 years, APDA has funded pioneering research and provided critical support to those affected by Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
A Tennessee bill is trying to protect pregnant employees after they've been fired. Senator London Lamar of Memphis has proposed a measure that would require an employer who terminates a pregnant woman enrolled in the company's health benefit program to continue her coverage until her pregnancy ends. About a month after the end of the pregnancy, the former worker will need to sign a statement to their employer. Otherwise, the company will then have the chance to try to recover those health care costs. If passed, this legislation would take effect this July. Meantime, Tennessee lawmakers considering legislation that would restrict the use of cell phones in school classrooms. A bill banning wireless communication devices during instructional time passed a state committee earlier this week. There's certain circumstances when phones could be used, like if a teacher incorporates these devices into their lessons. The measure now heads to the Calendar and Rules Committee. I'm Lee Mowen, Tennessee Radio Network News.
Upper Cumberland weather.
Brought to you by the Habitat for Humanity's Habitat Restore, located at 560 South Jefferson in Cookeville.
This is your latest forecast from News Talk 107.7 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. With Jason and Sheila.
On 107.7
Good morning,
and
Cookeville. We're
The
Jason
Hub.
and Sheila. We're live here in the Willow Window Studio, 7:35 now.
We're happy to have Ken Hall with us. He is with the disaster relief team, works all across the Upper Cumberland, don't you?
I sure do.
Now, you started out, your career has always been really of public service.
I started out as a police officer, and when I left that career, made this one up.
Yeah. And you've been to a lot of disasters and helped folks. You go from anywhere from...
What was the number you said?
The next one will be our 150th disaster.
Man.
And you're talking about anything from cutting trees and moving them out of the way to helping people and just rebuild.
We've done everything, lost children, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires. We've been to them all.
What was it, Ken, that you woke up one morning and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing. It doesn't pay. In fact, it costs me money. You know what? But I'm going to do it. So what was behind your decision?
Well, like most great things, there was no rhyme or reason to it, and no planning, and that's why it works so well. A tornado hit in Macon County in 2008, March 2008, and I worked for the state at that time. I worked for the Department of Children's Services, and we had children from Putnam County placed in Macon County. So I asked the director, could I get some volunteers and go help clean up since we had children up there? And the director put it on the state email, and it went statewide, and suddenly, that was on a Wednesday. Suddenly Thursday I had 75 volunteers, and it just kept growing. A doctor in town donated tetanus shots, companies donated equipment, drivers, highway patrol, sheriff's department, city of Cookeville, a police escort. It just kept growing and growing and growing. So now I'm in charge of 75 volunteers. So I went to two of my friends on the Monterey Lions Club and said, hey, I'm overwhelmed. Can two of you come with me, and each of us take 25? So that's how it started. So we were going to leave out of Cookeville on Saturday morning. All this equipment there, all these volunteers there, the police departments, all that. We're ready to go from Cookeville to Macon County. Lafayette, I believe, is the name of the town. Friday night, about 9 o'clock, I got a call and said, we're not accepting volunteers. Well, we're meeting at 6 a.m. Next morning. So I just pretended like I didn't get the call. So we left here, and
I got a group of people ready to work.
There was no way to call them off.
Right. Yeah.
So that morning we loaded up and left under great fanfare for our destination, and we had an address. Someone had a connection of a house that had been destroyed. So we had this address. So we're convoying to it, and we get to a checkpoint, and where they're not letting volunteers in. And the fellow at the checkpoint, the officer said, "What group are you?" And I had no idea what to say, so I just made it up. I said, "We're the Monterey Lions Club Disaster Response Team," and he waved us on in. And that's how we got started.
That's the name.
Yeah, that's how we started.
That's a great story. I didn't realize that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Sometimes you just gotta put it out there.
Hey, it has grown. It has people.
But that wasn't really a lie.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't.
Because y'all were ready to respond to the disaster.
Right.
You were part of the Monterey Lions Club.
Well, it wasn't a lie, but it wasn't really the
It was
truth either.
quick thinking.
But
Yeah.
it got us through a checkpoint.
That's right.
From there, it just the good Lord has intervened, and it's just grown. And I would have never have thought it would have got to this point. I mean, we even went to Puerto Rico.
What?
Did you really?
Yes, for the hurricane.
Well, I was about to ask how far do your services expand. I wasn't thinking Puerto Rico.
We've been to Pilgrim, Nebraska. That's the furthest west. Of course, we've been all up and down the East Coast. We've been all down through Florida and the South, and then as north as far as Indiana and Michigan.
What do people say when you show up and they're like, "Where are you from?" and you start explaining Tennessee, Putnam County, Monterey, and how and are they blown away that
Yes.
you've made the trip?
Yes, they are. They're very appreciative
Sure,
and humble. But I've said this all along. I get more out of it. The team gets more out of it than the people we're helping.
Mm-hmm.
When they see, we went to Oklahoma this past year, and the name slips me right now. Forgive me. I get them all confused. Sulphur, Oklahoma, which is a city basically of the Choctaw Nation. It was totally wiped out by a tornado, and we were treated like royalty.
Really?
Yes, they assigned to us. We were in charge of them. A Native American disaster response team. And they were all young guys in their 20s with their own chainsaws.
I was going to say they could do a lot of heavy
Oh
lifting.
man, alive! All I had to do was drive the tractor. So we're well accepted and very appreciated where we go. And
I imagine
sometimes we run into governments that don't know what to do with us since we are volunteers, so they'll kind of turn us away, and I understand that because they're overwhelmed. So we just say, okay, I go out in the parking lot and there's people coming in to volunteer, citizens coming in, and I just find somebody that lives in the area and they take us to where the disaster hit, and we just go start working.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
you find a way to get in somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Even if we have to lie, we'll get in there.
We were talking to Brandon Smith whenever he got back from East Tennessee, that all the flooding and stuff went over there. I believe you mentioned you guys were there, and he was talking about coordinating that effort. And the bad news is that we here in this area we've had to get good at it. The good news is in this area we've gotten good at it.
And I'll brag on Brandon and all the guys that work here. Of all the disasters that I have been to, like I said, it's 149. What happened here in 2020 and the organization and the response and the way it was handled, honestly, is the best I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing and how quickly things were sorted out, and we had so many people come in from other states to help and volunteer, and even controlling that. It's overwhelming.
When I got there to where the 7,000 volunteers showed up all of a sudden that we weren't prepared for, there was a step going up to the building that put me a little bit higher, and being tall, ugly, and bald-headed, I'm sure I kind of stood out. But here's the sweet thing about it. People who we had helped in other states saw me. They had responded from Mississippi, one from Alabama.
Wow.
they came to help. So
They remembered the area you were from and
Yes.
said, we want to pay it back. We want to
Yes.
pay it forward.
So I
man,
had
that's awesome.
It is. I had a team that I'd used before that we worked well together.
Sure.
And then we took on about 45 of those 7,000 volunteers. You know, people got turned away because there wasn't the infrastructure to handle it.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do with 7? I mean, it was. You're right. It was awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelming to know what to do with.
Yes.
I mean, it was one of those, you're so thankful that all these people wanted to help, but then what do they do?
Where do you send them? Who's in charge? How do you feed them? How do you keep them safe?
Right.
Just a lot of questions. But we ended up with about 52, the ones I just told you about that showed up from other states, and then volunteers that joined with us locally. And we got right out there, and that's where it comes in handy that my ties here to Putnam County and then growing up with the guys that are in charge, that comes in handy sometimes.
Sure. Talking to Ken Hall, he's with the Monterey Lions Club Disaster Relief Team. We'll be sure I get it all in there.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. More with Ken coming up here in just a little bit. It's Good Morning Cookeville. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. We'll be right back.
And so it was when Jesus had ended these sayings that the people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. Matthew chapter 7, verses 28 and 29. Hello, Upper Cumberland. This is Jesse Flowers with the Jerry Whitson Road Church of Christ. Join us this month as we study Jesus' Sermon on the Mount from the Gospel of Matthew every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on our radio program, Words of Exhortation, right here on WHUB. May the Lord bless you as you serve him and serve others.
Join Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity for their Race to Build Hope 5K Run Walk, Saturday, March 29th at 8 a.m. at the Livingston Central Park. The race is supporting Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity's mission to build affordable homes and strengthen communities. So lace up and join the fun Saturday, March 29th at 8 a.m. at Livingston Central Park for Upper Cumberland Habitat for Humanity's Race to Build Hope 5K Run Walk. To register, visit uchabitat.org.
If you have automotive needs, Dependable Auto Sales and Service along with Colonial Automotive would love to help you. Whether it's towing or service, body shop needs, are you ready for a new car? We have everything you need, including the financing, including the warranties. It doesn't matter what it is, DAS is on your side. Please come see us at 1575 Interstate Drive right here in Cookeville, 931-526-7355. That's 931-526-7355, 24/7 at dasautosales.com.
Hey everyone, it's Magic Mike at Carlin Chevrolet, and love is in the air. We love our customers, and to prove it, we're saving you money. This month, we're selling almost every new vehicle at true factory invoice pricing. On top of that, you get the rebates. We'll give you top dollar for your trade, and if you're loyal to us, we'll be loyal to you. If you own a Chevrolet 2011 or newer, trade it or keep it, you get extra money off. Come down to the corner of Spring and Willow and feel the love of savings. See you soon.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Jason and Sheila. Good morning, Cookeville. 1077 and 1400, The Hub.
Good morning, Cookeville. We're Jason and Sheila here. We're live in the Willow Window Studio. 7:48 now.
Ken Hall is with the Monterey Lions Club Disaster Relief Team, and you've been doing this for years. You said 149 disaster areas that you visited.
Yes.
And then going to be 150 because there's always going to be a disaster happen somewhere.
There's always
somehow.
the next one.
Yeah, and just a great group of people that you have that volunteer with you and help. Now, when we think of disaster relief, we think of helping people, but I'm sure you've probably rescued some animals in your time too.
We carry equipment with us now to do minor first aid to domesticated animals. But yeah, we've
So you've even got the equipment to help them.
yeah, but it doesn't take a lot. We carry
Yeah.
food and water and bowls and treats and bandages and splints and things like that. Flood at the bottom of the mountain, we rescued 2 horses that were caught in a flood. In Puerto Rico, a little kitten caught in a hurricane. We were able to finally coax it to us. And in Alabama, a whole block completely wiped out, and the owner of the dog was killed, and all the neighbors were killed, but the dog hid under the porch and wouldn't come out. It was traumatized.
I don't blame it.
Well, I didn't either, and I just kept getting closer and closer and talking sweet to it, and finally it came out, and I've got pictures of me holding it, and it acting like a regular somebody's pet. So I got it a bowl and some food, and I put food in the bowl and gave him some water, and he's eating it, and I reached down to put some more food in the bowl, and he bit me.
Oh, yeah, thank you, but don't take my food.
Yeah. But I said when they came up and had to put a bandage on me, I said, no, that's on me. I knew better. Panama City, that Mexico Beach, I think it's called, that place was wiped out, and we were on a street clearing the roads for the power company to get through, and hot, and I hit a nail or something with the chainsaw, and it gave me a time to just sit down in the middle of the road. Nobody could come through, and start chopping the blade, and felt something nudge me, and I figured it was, somebody's dog, and it was a goat.
In Panama City.
Inside Panama City, somebody's pet goat.
That's not what you expect to see. No.
But we've got pictures of me and that goat. So yeah, we rescue little animals. They get traumatized. They get lost. They get blown away from their homes.
Have you ever kept one of the animals that you've saved that that they didn't have a family there?
It'd be tempting to, wouldn't it?
It is.
He
very
sounds like
tempting.
he's an animal lover.
I am a big animal lover. We rescued a bloodhound in Macon County that had been, we don't know where it got blown in from, but it just melted my heart. They took it to the pound. It chose me. I didn't choose him.
They usually do.
It walked around about 100 people in a parking lot and came right to me. So
you're my human.
Yeah. So I came back to Monterey, and then it just stayed on my mind. I went back the next day and adopted it from the shelter.
You couldn't forget about that bloodhound.
No, and gave it to a preacher here in Cookeville. And he renamed it, and as far as I know, that little fella's still living.
Well, those bloodhounds are regal dogs. I mean, there's something just so beautiful about them.
There he is.
Yeah.
And friendly, and he knew he was being saved.
Yeah.
Tell me too, how are I guess does the Lions Club I know that they have fundraisers and things like that. Does the Lions Club fund this, or how do you? I mean, because let's face it, loading up and going anywhere with just the gas alone would be expensive. How do you fund this?
The Lions Club provides the liability insurance.
Okay.
Because you're using volunteers with chainsaws and equipment. So that's a big liability, and companies will not cover that because we tried. Our funding comes from just people that we have helped in the past. Now, if we're helping somebody and they come up and say, listen, we want to make a contribution here, you've helped us a lot, we don't accept that. I tell them, I said, if you want to contribute, you can do one of two things. You can pay it forward, or when you are on your feet and can financially do it, you can send us a check. But I said, we're not here to make money. We're just here to help. The old military school that I attended many years ago, and this school, it's in Lebanon, Castle Heights Military Academy. It hadn't been around since 1987, but all the cadets that attended that are still living, that's where we get most of our money. I get checks all the time from them. So we do fundraisers. The Monterey First Baptist Church has adopted us within the last 2 years and put us on their budget, and we get money from there. And it's like that plan I had in the beginning. I had no plan, and it has just fallen together. It's costing us now, with all the equipment that we have acquired, about $15,000 a year in equipment cost. Repairing during the Cookeville tornado. Prior to that tornado, when we went anywhere and cleared roads, cleared properties, whatever, we had to drag all those limbs to the road. And that's, all of us on this team, it's shameful to say we're all in our 70s now, but we can't drag brush like we used to. So for the Cookeville tornado, Dr. Larry Reed from Monterey called me. We were on our way down here, and he said, hey, boy, could you use a tractor? And I said, yeah, Doc, we can use a tractor,
Always use a tractor.
Yeah. Well, he gave us a tractor.
How about that?
Yeah, he gave us a John Deere, and 2 organizations chipped in. One bought new tires for it, and one bought a grappler. We couldn't work without it. So we went to Hurricane Helene in North Carolina and East Tennessee. We made 5 trips and wore that little tractor out.
I bet.
When I brought it back, got it back home, I had to sink about $5,000 into it because it was old to begin with.
Well, that, and from the pictures I saw, that was much more of a big bulldozer job than it was a John Deere tractor job.
It was, but that little tractor is the most amazing little thing. People look at it. It comes out of a regular, we roll it out of a trailer, and it looks just like a little tractor. It's a 755, if anybody knows John Deere tractors, made in the 1980s.
It's been a great donation,
hasn't it? It moves and lifts things you wouldn't believe. One of our other members, a younger guy, has a brand new John Deere tractor, and I've had to use my old little tractor to put him back on the.
Does that make you feel good?
When his tires up.
That's right, young man.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Us old guys, we'll come get you out. Old guy, old tractor, we got you, man. Great. So we've been hearing about. I know you started before the Cookeville tornado, but I think that's when everybody kind of heard about. You know what? It was the ice storm.
Yeah, the ice storm is when.
Ice storm. That's the first time I'd heard about what you were doing up there.
And I heard about Ken Hall and the disaster relief team.
Yeah,
that was that ice storm.
Yeah, and because there was so many trees down.
That was, if you can use the word amazing, which is a positive word, but that ice storm was amazing. The Cookeville
really
tornado was amazing.
Yeah.
That ice storm was something else.
Kind of was, talking about earlier that we were unlucky that those things happened to us, but lucky that we learned as a community so much from those 2 things that, there's nothing we can't handle.
You're exactly right. And the emergency services here in Putnam County train all year long for possible catastrophes, from earthquakes to chemical spills to tornadoes to fire, mass casualty. They're preparing. So when these things happen, this county just jumps right in.
Talking to Ken Hall this morning, the Monterey Lions Club disaster relief team. And I know we shouldn't celebrate it, but next disaster, 150. That sounds like a cool number to hit, but also a terrible number to hit, if that makes sense too.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Ken, thanks so much for being here this morning. We really do appreciate it.
And thanks for all that you've done to help the communities around the country, around the world.
Yeah.
Hey, I just own the truck.
Tomorrow we got some great guests. We'll get it all sorted out about what high school basketball team plays where and what their seed is, because we moved on from district championships to region championships, and trying to figure out the high school basketball tournaments, like doing algebra upside down. So Jacob Vincent will be here to let us know who's doing what where.
And then Eddie Ferris, our sheriff, will be talking with him along with Gary Cordell about the victim notification system. And we'll find out more about that tomorrow.
That's tomorrow here on Good Morning Cookeville. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching and listening. See you tomorrow.
This is News Talk 107.7 and 1400. The Hub. Good Morning Cookeville. W299BY. 107.7 FM and AM 1400.